Hi, my name is Jen Rulon, and you may know me as Coach Jen. After knocking out 15 Ironman triathlons, I am an everyday, healthy human just like you. In this podcast, we will discuss how to metamorphosize into an everyday, healthy human through healthy physical habits and mindsets, as well as authentic living. Let's transform together in this journey called life and become the best, everyday, healthy human ever. Hello, and welcome to the Everyday Healthy Human podcast with Jen Rulon. Some people may know me as Coach Jen Rulon, but today we have a special guest named Jonathan Perez, who I met virtually on the Rulon Racing Instagram page, and I absolutely loved his story, and I knew that this interview had to happen. Jonathan, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for having me on your...
From Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yes, Puerto Rico, and I am Costa Rica. And people, that is two different countries. He is an island. I am not an island. So, Jonathan, can you please share your story? Because I think it's just a phenomenal story.
So I've been overweight all my life. Since I was a little kid, I've been always overweight. And I've always been into sports. So I was on a swimming team, then I was on taekwondo, and then about 12 years old, I started on triathlons. I was in and out. Maybe on 2017, I started again training mostly every day. But even though I was training sometimes even 3 hours, I didn't lose weight. And that was like a frustration because on triathlon, it's not a secret that if you lose weight, you'll be faster. When I saw that, I was frustrated. And 2019, I broke my ankle, and I already had lost 100 pounds. Then I started gaining weight again during the pandemic, mostly because it was more a psychological recovery that I was not getting. I tried to run again, and I had pain on my ankle. Even though the doctor said it was normal and I could keep running, I was scared to run. I thought that if I continue running, I wouldn't be able to walk again or something like that. And not being able to reach the times I was getting, the distance I was getting, I started to train less. I never stopped training. I always went for a run, maybe one day on the week, or I swim 2 days in the week. But I didn't register on races nor anything like that. And I went up to almost 400 pounds. The highest I weighted was 396. Then I looked up information and I decided to do gastric sleeve surgery. I called local doctors on Puerto Rico, but the wait list was for about 2 years. So it was hard to diet for 2 years. So I looked up on the internet and I saw that on Mexico, the wait list is way less. And I called the doctor and told him what I wanted. And he said, okay, can you come here next month? And I said, yes, it's okay.
Wow.
So I did it, and it was an amazing experience. I have never went to Mexico, and I stayed there about 10 days or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And after the surgery, that same day I could walk. I felt great. So I had some days to go walk on Mexico and went to some local shops. And it was an amazing trip all over. And then everything started to happen. Like I started losing weight so fast. Then I started training again.
Okay.
And registered for my first race. So the race was on June and my surgery was on April 2022. I saw that while I lost weight, my performance on triathlon was getting better. So every time I was like feeling frustrated because at this beginning of the surgery, you lost 2 pounds on a day, maybe 3 sometimes.
Wow.
So it's something very fast. But after the second or third month, it starts to slow down. Maybe 1 pound a day, maybe a day you won't lose weight. But on those times, I saw that on triathlon, I was getting faster. The improvement on the bike is where I've seen most improvement by a lot. Like now I feel that I pedal and the bikes move. So
Right.
it's awesome. Cycling was like was the third that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And now it may be the most one I like. I don't know. It keeps changing. Everything keeps changing very, very fast. Then I continue registering on races, training, and the most important, that's way different than what I did before, is nutrition.
Yes.
I continue with my bariatric nutritionist
Okay.
every month, and she makes me a nutrition plan according to the type of exercise I do.
Great.
It's crazy. I still don't believe how everything keeps changing so fast.
Right. And you just accomplished Ironman 70.3 Florida. Yeah. Gulf Coast. One of my ultimate favorite races is Ironman Florida. I mean, I followed you that day and I was like, holy cow, the guy's like, and you looked so happy doing it. I mean, that to me, I'm not your coach, but like as a coach, when I see athletes smile, like it was just beautiful. It was really beautiful.
My main goal was that to enjoy the race.
Good.
I had a time goal because I knew how much I trained,
Yeah.
but it wasn't my main goal. My main goal was to be able to not feel completely exhausted at that finish line.
Sure.
And when I saw that I was 300 meters out, 200, and I didn't feel completely exhausted,
Uh-huh.
I just couldn't stop smiling. It was like, I did it. I'm here
Right.
and I finished my 70.3.
And your pictures on your Instagram, and we'll put all the show notes about, how to find you and all that stuff. But your smile was just very infectious. So it's just, we choose to do this. And you went through a lot of transformations and sort of what we talked about. You've gone through so many transformations just as a child, and you decided to do something about it. And you are. So you did Ironman 70.3. You've done how many races total?
The total in my life, I lost count. I don't know how much.
How many half Ironmans have you done?
One,
That was the first one. Okay.
yes,
And then you have another one
on December.
in December. And then your next adventure, you want to share about that one after the December one?
Yes, so a couple, like on 2018, I thought it was, or 2019, this guy, his name is Cesar, he sent me a message through Instagram and told me, I organize these races and they are Ultra Isla on Cozumel. And he said, I like your story. I know how difficult it is. You have a free, I give you the registration for any of my events. And then I look up his events and I saw, wait, those are Ultraman. And I said to him, realistically, I cannot do that yet, but I'll do it and I'm going to train for that.
Good. What's the distance of the Ultraman?
That one is the 315 kilometers. It'll be 5K swim, 255 kilometers on bike, and 55 kilometers on the run.
That's crazy.
It's divided on 2 days. I think on Saturday you will do the swim and almost half of the bike,
Yep.
and the other day would be the rest of the bike and the
Yep.
run.
And the run. Yep. You said that's in April
Yes.
of 2024.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have to cheer you on and keep the audience, and we'll have to have you back on the show to talk about that, because that's pretty incredible.
Yes, I'm very excited for the journey there because I know it will be way different.
Very much so. Let me ask you this. What pivotal moment or experience sparked your transformation into a triathlete on your journey? Like, I know you did triathlons as a child, right? Or as younger, but where were you like, oh, I have to do something?
A specific moment, like I could say this day, this happened. No,
Okay.
maybe it took some time to realize where was I heading if I continued how I was going. Yeah, I saw that I was not what I wanted to be.
Ooh, I love that.
Like I wanted to do triathlons. It's a sport I really like. I love it. I have fun doing it. But where I was headed to and how I continued gaining weight, there was gonna be a time where I couldn't do that. So that's what got into me, and I said, it's enough. I want to be a triathlete. I want to do an Ironman. I want to do an ultra. I have to do something.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you encountered during your training? Let's say, for example, for the 70.3 in Florida.
Nutrition was
Was it nutrition for the race day or everyday nutrition?
everything because due to the surgery, I had to consume enough calories. But with my surgery, my stomach was cut for by 80%.
Woo.
So that part was difficult. So what we did is the monthly call I have with my nutritionist.
Mm-hmm.
I told her how much I was training, and she figured, I don't know how to, but how did she do it? But she did it and sent me the nutrition plan. She added protein. What she did was that instead of adding carbohydrates, she added those calories on proteins. And the last month, we doubled the amount of protein shake I was taking. I was taking about 50 grams a day, and now I'm drinking 100 grams. And because being protein shake is more easy on the stomach, and I don't feel full so fast.
Sure. So, as a triathlete, as a coach, I mean, I know how important nutrition is on the race. And, I was talking to one of my athletes today, and he has bumped up his calories drastically. So, how many calories are you consuming per hour on the bike?
So I'm using the gummies, the small blocks. I think they are from Goose Shoes, and it's easier to eat. I I ate four of them every 30 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know how much calories they have. It's just that's the amount I figured out during training. That was the
So, you're probably consuming about 200 calories per hour. That's good. Are you doing the same? Not that everybody wants to know about race day nutrition, but are you doing the same for the run?
yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that in itself, I think you're spot on when it like the biggest challenge is nutrition. I think nutrition is super hard for triathletes in general. And then you add with the gastric sleeve of losing 80% of your stomach. Like I can't even fathom that. So was there any time that you were like just frustrated, like you just wanted to throw in the towel, you wanted to give up, or
I think that most triathletes will have maybe one day on a bad training day, and but it's never. I never considered like a real decision. Like it's maybe I had a bad day on the bike, maybe flat tire or something, and it will come to your mind like if I didn't register on that race, maybe I was not going to be in this position. But nothing like to seriously consider stopping and quitting.
so let's talk about mindset because you have the mindset of an athlete. A lot of people, everyday healthy humans, may not understand that mindset of an athlete. Can you give our followers any advice on the mindset that you have as an athlete and how that applies to your everyday living?
Don't be 100% focused on your main goal. Just enjoy the journey. There's a lot happening. Everything right now, like I'm losing weight, and the simple things like going to the mall and buying clothes, I could actually find clothes I like on the mall.
Ah,
So those small steps, those small things that happen during the journey, like stop and appreciate them, enjoy them.
yeah. And I think for you, like, for example, like like you just did the Ironman 70.3 in Florida, everyday healthy human. is not going to go do an Ironman 70.3 or a full Ironman, right? They might need 10,000 steps to walk, or they might need a day, right? Or they might need, to get into a better habit of drinking water or eating healthy or whatever that might be. And so you're right. It's those little habits, or it's those little goals to get you to your end goal. And that end goal, we sort of all have our own little finish line, right? Finish line would be, as an everyday healthy human, would probably be death, right? So we're going to try to extend that finish line longer and longer, right? And so while you are a triathlete, you're an athlete, you have those little goals that you set for yourself. And one of them is an Ironman 70.3. Another one is going to the mall and buying clothes off the rack. That's a huge win.
I think that one of those, the most shocking one, was being able to use the seatbelt on airplanes without the extender. That made me realize this is happening. I'm losing weight. I don't need to ask for the extender anymore.
That's incredible. So I asked y'all a couple of questions on my form, right? And the one question was, how have you transformed yourself into your own beautiful butterfly? And you said, I think I'm not yet my own butterfly, nor I say I will be. But you transform every single day. And you sitting on that plane and not getting the extender, that's one transformation. You crossing the line to the Ironman 70.3, that's another transformation. Like, you keep going into your cocoon, trying to get your fuel, figure out what works for you, right? And then you blossom into that butterfly. So you're going to keep rebirthing yourself to become a butterfly throughout your whole life, because you already have transformed yourself drastically. And I think that is such a beautiful story.
Yes, and all those changes makes you want to keep going.
100%.
And I know my main goal right now would be that ultra, but everything has happened so fast, and now I really see the possibility of me completing that ultra. I know I can do it. So I don't know if maybe when I do that, there's something else right now I don't even know it exists that I'll be doing.
Right. I don't know if you have a coach, and so I don't want to overstep any boundaries, but if you need a coach for an Ironman, I've never coached anybody in the ultra, but if you need a coach for an Ironman, I am here. I will take care of you.
Thank you.
100%. You just tell me when, and we'll get you to that finish line for the Ironman. Okay.
That would be awesome.
Okay. So what is one final thought that you could give to our listeners about how to start their own transformation?
Start today. Don't wait until Monday or the first of the month or next year. If you had that feeling today that you want to start running, grab your sneakers and go for a run, even though it'll be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's okay. You started today.
Beautiful. I love that. And where can my listeners find you online?
On Instagram. I'm on TikTok also by LPR Jonathan.
Well, thank you so much for being my guest on the Everyday Healthy Human podcast. I'm super excited to watch your journey. And like I said, I promise you, if you need a coach for your Ironman, I'm your girl. I got it taken care of. So, because I sort of know the boss of jenrulon.com. So, well, thank you, Jonathan. And we'll be following you. And thank you so much for joining me. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Ciao.